Everybody. My name is Sean Matthews. I'm a state representative up in North Wilmington, District 10. Thank you to the governor for making time today, and thank you to Del One for hosting. We're here to learn about House Bill 31. In my other full-time job, I'm a teacher, and that's how I came upon this issue. My students and I were doing a current event article, and we read some articles about issues with the lotteries in other states, and we started learning about prize-linked savings accounts, and it so happens that Mary DuPont has been working for years on this issue. We had this bill, I forget the number, last session. It didn't get done in June. June's very crazy in the General Assembly, so we brought it back, and we were successful this year. So it's a win-win for institutions like Del One and for consumers throughout the country. States that have these type of products have had dramatic increases in savings among working families. That's a very positive thing. I want to thank all the co-sponsors, and I'm going to pass it off to Stephanie Priest from Del One to talk more about their plans for this type of product.
So first, I just want to say thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today as we witness Governor Carney sign into law a bill that allows financial institutions to reward members who commit to saving. We're very grateful that Representative Matthews, thank you so much for recognizing the need for this within the community. And not only that, but his diligence in garnering support of legislature, including Brian Townsend and some others, to make this bill actually come to fruition. So it's an exciting day for Del One and for the state of Delaware. I'm not certain if you're aware of it or not, but we are only the 15th state in the nation to be able to launch a program like this. But we're super grateful that we are the first credit union in the state to offer a program to all of our members, which include 55,000 members across the state, including Kent County, Sussex County, as well as Newcastle County, and there's 10 branches that we're going to be able to offer this in. So for those of you who aren't familiar with credit unions, which you better all be, but if you're not familiar with credit unions, we're a cooperative, and one of the principles that guides us is financial literacy for those that are underserved. It's our most important mission. We're owned by our members, and our responsibility to them is that financial literacy. We need to educate the financially vulnerable and share with them programs that allow for financial independence. The Federal Credit Union Act states that the credit union's primary objective should be to create thrift, and that's exactly what this savings-linked-based programs does. It creates thrift. It's in line with those objectives. So I'd like to give you an idea of what to expect from this program. It's still in development, so we don't have all the details worked out. But essentially, what we've seen out of this program is upwards of $140 million in savings generated out of it. That's across 60,000 people who probably wouldn't have opened a savings account in the past. Studies show us that 78 to 90% of those people are what we would consider to be financially vulnerable. I think that all of us have been in the situation before where, the air conditioner broke, right? And we didn't have the cushion in order to be able to repair that air conditioner, or the car that we so desperately needed to get to work, all 4 tires were bald, and we just didn't have the dollars to do that. So this prize-linked savings program will hopefully allow for that and help us to get there. Essentially what happens with this program is it mixes a couple components. There's the savings program vehicle that we will establish where members and account holders will generate interest off of that base amount. In addition to that, they can make deposits up to 120 deposits, or they can make as many deposits as they want and get up to 120 entries for the year. Now the drawings vary across the board. So you'll see in some states they do monthly, quarterly, annual different programs. Again, we're in development, and as we get closer to tying that down and moving the ball, we will absolutely give you guys that information. But it's going to generate excitement, and at the end of the day, if excitement is what it takes to do that, then that's where we want to be. So I do want to say, I often live by the philosophy that we only get one shot to do this, and I get to be a part of a team at Del One that absolutely lives by the principle of people helping people. I've been humbled to be able to work with a leadership team and a group that focuses on financial literacy, and that's what they do every single day. We recently partnered with Delaware Electric Co-op, that gives us access to 93,000 additional members that we didn't have before, or to be able to share that financial literacy with. So it's partnerships like that, and it's partnerships like what we're seeing today with Representative Matthews and the governor, and importantly, Stand By Me with Mary DuPont. You know, she's part of the reason that they have been able to enact this legislation, and she's been a big driver in this. So for that, we're thankful that she's been our partner. So my last comment is, Lisa Blunt Rochester commented that partnerships are about strengthening Delaware communities and strengthening Delaware families. She also said that sticks alone are breakable, but sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. So we just want to say thank you to Representative Matthews, thank you to the governor, thank you to Mary DuPont for helping in this, thank you for being part of our bundle, and thank you so much for today.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
This is a very exciting time because, as Stephanie mentioned, it's been a long time coming. Stand By Me is a joint project of the state and the United Way to increase the economic security of all Delawareans. And as part of our role, we, of course, promote savings, but most of the people that we work with are not that interested in savings. They're much more interested in reducing debt and increasing credit scores. So we're really excited about this because we know that prize-linked savings is going to help motivate all Delawareans to put more money in the bank and have fun doing it. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's a lot more fun to see when your credit score is going up or your debt is going down than it is giving up that, weekly pizza night. So we're very excited about this. I just wanted to say that there's a national organization that was called D2D, Doorways to Dreams, and it was their vision. They are an organization that was founded by the dean of the Harvard Business School in his mission to promote savings for all Americans. And they developed this concept that started in Michigan 9 years ago. And as Stephanie said, it was a huge success. And then since then, other states have jumped on the bandwagon. And now here we are, Delaware. We weren't first this time, but I'd say 15th sounds pretty good. And the way that the program works is you open up an account, and it'll be a special account, not just any account. And Del One is going to be offering these accounts. So also I'd like to thank Del One, because we could have the legislation passed, but if we didn't have a financial institution who was willing to offer the accounts, then we wouldn't have a program. So that's what makes us 15th. And you open up an account, and every time you put money in the account, it's like putting a ticket in a raffle pot. The more money you put in, the more you will have a chance to win a prize. And there will be monthly drawings, quarterly drawings, and annual grand prize drawings. And Del One is the credit union that has stepped to the plate and is saying, we want to do this, and we're willing to invest in this to make it happen, to increase savings opportunities for all Delawareans. So I'd just like to thank Representative Matthews, who I haven't formally had a chance to shake his hand, and Brian Townsend, Senator Brian Townsend, and Senator Richardson. Okay, thank you. And of course, Governor Carney, thank you so much. And my boss, Dr. Karen Odom Walker. Yes, it takes a village to make something like this happen. And pretty soon we're all going to be a lot richer for it. Okay, and now I'd like to introduce my partner in crime, Jerry Hunter from the United Way of Delaware, our partner with Stand By Me.
Thank you, Mary. as Mary and everybody has indicated, we've been at this a while now. Started with D2D, so I'm very happy that we finally got it done, Mary. So congratulations. And it's very timely that this is happening this month. I actually picked up the Fortune magazine today for May. And it's interesting, in that article, one of the topics of the articles in the magazine is future financial stability. And then when you look at it, some of the key points in the article are Americans are terrible at savings, and that's a fact. No matter what state you look at, we just don't have a good track record. If you look at it nationally, just look at retirement savings. There's an estimated deficit of $14 trillion. If you look at nationally, 28% of people between the ages of 30 and 44 have no retirement savings. A person with a median income of $47,000 needs more than $400,000 in their savings to retire safely at the age of 65. The article stated that Acorns is a company dedicated to helping Americans do what research proves they cannot, and that's save money. And now, thanks to our elected officials and their actions here today, Delaware has the opportunity to do the same. Provide our citizens with new products and services that will help them move from unbanked to banked, make it easier to save and grow their money, build assets, and for our Stand By Me coaches that are here, add another important tool to the toolbox that will fit nicely with loans, such products as Loans Plus, aim to address predatory lending, My Free Taxes, where we actually train clients to do their taxes online. This year, I'm happy to say we did over 3,200 returns using that process. And then finally, our partner, happy to say, is Del One. Look forward to working with them on this project. No pressure on Del One, but they will be a key partner and become Delaware's Acorns. And we're looking forward to working together to make this a successful product offering for all Delawareans. Next on our agenda is Shamika Spencer. Shamika is Shamika is one of our clients and hopefully a potential client of this new product.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Shamika, and I like long walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding. My name, of course, is Shamika. My husband and I are customers of Stand By Me. I'm originally from Michigan, where the price link saving started. I didn't know about it in Michigan. And I'm happy to be here for the signing for it here in Delaware. Now I can take, I can take advantage of it. My husband and I have been working with Stand By Me in our counselor Shay since October. In the beginning, it was terrible. We didn't know what to do. We had just moved from Michigan and we didn't know where to start. So working with the Stand By Me, we were able to save $2,500 towards the purchase of a new home. We still have a little ways to go. But, one thing that Stand By Me did was make us accountable for, our monies. We realized, okay, we had this goal to buy a house, so we know we couldn't go and Burger King it up. We couldn't go. I'm sorry, you guys. You can't go and you can't have your way at Burger King. So, we are actually clients of Del One. So we will be taking advantage of this, when everything is set in stone. And I believe this is something that everybody should get into. I wish I knew about it when I was in Michigan, because I would have done it. I mean, this is a great thing for saving and everything. There's a lot of people my age, because I'm only 31, and there's a lot of people who have no clue on how to save And something like this would really motivate them to put their money aside and not spend it on things that they don't need. So I'm grateful to be here for today. I'm glad that I came from the first state to start it, and now I'm here at the 15th state. I just really want people to take advantage of this. You know, coming from someone that's young as me, because a lot of people my age, they're not saving money. They're spending it as soon as they get it. And with this will put the emphasis on the importance of saving money to reach a goal that you need. So I'm just really glad, and I can't wait to take advantage of it. My husband is excited about it. I'm excited about it. And this is going to go far. I'm going to tell everybody about it, even my mom about it, even though she's in Michigan where it started. So I'm going to tell her to go get it, Mom. So, yeah, so I'm really happy about it. So up next, we have Dr. Kara Olden Walker.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for this important work. As a department, we are committed to serving vulnerable populations and connecting the dots between health and those social services and making sure that people have access to opportunities that really are able to promote better and optimal health. And we know that financial stability is a critical piece of that. I'm a family physician, and there are more stories than enough that I was talking to patients about not what pill to take, but about housing, or about a job, or about getting access to transportation. And so having these kind of strategies that are really able to speak the language, just as Shamika said, about making sure you have savings and that backup for when the car breaks down or the heater goes out, is really critical. We know that people who suffer from lung disease need air conditioning units, you know, just basics that we often take for granted. So the more that we can help connect the dots, the better. I'm so proud that Stand By Me and Representative Matthews and Senator Townsend were able to push this forward as another strategy to help get vulnerable populations better, secure, and financially stable and financially empowered. What we know from many surveys and studies, I like research, and so you'll hear a little statistics from me once in a while, but we know that the American Psychological Association said that almost 75% of Americans worry about money more than anything else, more than their family, more than transportation, more than their health. So if we know that that's a true factor in adding stress, we also know that poverty creates illness, creates mental illness, depression. It creates long-term health consequences. We've seen study after study show that those who are from lower socioeconomic status are more likely to die sooner. Why is that? We don't know yet. Some of it is the biological reaction to stress that goes on in your body. We don't know why. But certainly if money is contributing and income is contributing, then we need to create real safety nets for people. And I think that this bill is one that really is creating that safety net and a new way to have a conversation about savings. I'm so pleased to be here. I really am looking forward to wrapping this into the holistic approach that we're giving families in our community and all of Delawareans to make sure that they have a safety net in place that's beyond just what we're providing as a state. So I'm really fortunate to be at a place where we have partnerships in the private sector as well, from United Way and others, to continue to expand what we're doing with Stand By Me. And so I hope that you will all continue to share the great work and this opportunity with people that you interact with day by day. So I'll turn the podium over to Representative Matthews and Senator Townsend for a few comments as well.
What I want to say, I want to invite Senator Townsend up. He helped me push it through the Senate this year, but I have nothing else to say. We had a lot of good speakers. I don't know if Senator Richardson wants to say anything, but you're certainly welcome to do so.
Thank you very much, Representative Matthews, Governor Carney, Secretary Walker, and Del One. Representative Matthews was tenacious about making sure this got done. If you look back at the history of June 2016, you'll see many bills that did not make it through the Senate on the last night of session, many House bills that people thought were going to get through. And I talked to him very soon after that, and he was very candid with his frustration on behalf of the many people whose lives are going to be positively impacted by this legislation. He was very candid how much he hoped we could do this early on in the 2017 year, and I told him, please reintroduce it, please get it over to us, we'll make sure we get it done quickly. And I thank my Senate colleagues for making sure that that got done. The data on savings in the United States across all generations, but especially younger people, is pretty alarming. And I think that to Secretary Walker's point about stress and what people are going through, it can be really tough to believe that small steps will lead to big things when you see a lot of people sliding off or falling off the cliff right next to you. We live in a very, very unequal time in our country and our world's history, especially on financial issues. And I'm a huge fan of Mary and what her team is doing. I believe this is a critical step and a critical tool in the toolbox that we need to build on with a whole lot of other issues with regard to financial empowerment. I look forward to working with Representative Matthews and Mary and the entire DHSS team, along with private sector partners and not-for-profit partners, on making those steps. But this is all about just reminding people that little steps do make a big difference. And we would hope that that is something that people would believe and do on their own. But I think we have to be honest, when you're faced with such dramatic inequality, it's no surprise that people might not see it that way. It's no surprise that people might not give up the you're right away approach of going to Burger King or going for pizza night or whatever it might be because of such a long path they see in front of them. And they see a lot of hardworking people not succeeding in the way that we should all want hardworking people to succeed. And they see a political narrative that doesn't acknowledge that hard work isn't always enough. And so steps like this can make a small difference in the moment, but a big difference over the course of time. And it's been a true pleasure to work with Representative Matthews and all the other advocates on making sure that we get this done right away and that additional steps are taken. So I pledge that something like this is not going to get stuck on June 30th again. Thank you, Representative Matthews. And that we'll be taking additional steps in the very near future to really make sure that financial empowerment is a goal that all hardworking people are able to achieve. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Del One, United Way, and all the partners that make this possible. Look forward to being part of future efforts. Thank you.
I guess it's time. It's not often, hasn't happened yet. This is the first time as your governor that I have the opportunity to sign a bill with such fanfare, such a gathering. When I walked in, I'd talked to Mary about what we were doing here. She said, you know, this has taken a long time, 5 years. Well, I served in Congress for all of you for 6 years. And a lot of things did get done in 6 years. Well, one of the things that did get done, interestingly, and this is maybe the only time I'll ever have the chance to sign a piece of legislation here that creates a program or enables a program to start here in Delaware that I actually voted on legislation in the Congress to enable states to do in the first instance. One of my really best friends in the Congress was a guy by the name of Derek Kilmer from the state of Washington. We were part of a bipartisan breakfast group that got together, about 20 of us, 10 Republicans and 10 Democrats, each Monday or Tuesday morning. And Derek was one of these common sense kind of guys. You know, he was a community development housing expert in his professional career, graduate of Princeton. And he came to us one day and he said, you know, I got this idea that around the country that we need to pass legislation so all states can do it. And he started to describe it, and he said to me, in his kind of the way he did things, he said, look, the worst that can happen is people save a ton of money. The worst that can happen. The best is they save a ton of money and they get a prize. And I scratched my head a little bit at first, and I said, wait a minute, Derek, there must be a catch here. Of course, there is no catch. And one of the points that Derek made so plainly, which is obviously the case, is for so many of us, prizes, make a big difference. And so to meet the challenges that we're all concerned about, and I want to thank Representative Matthews and Senator Townsend, Senator Richardson for your work on this, particularly you, Representative Matthews, for sticking to it. A lot of things don't get done on June 30th and then they just go away. This is one thing that didn't get done on June 30th and was done. But it's really all the folks in the room that make this happen. Stand By Me, United Way, and all the folks that that counsel people like Shamika that enable them to get that, have the financial literacy and the empowerment they need to be successful. So with that, I'm going to sign this piece of legislation. You might want to come, particularly Representative Matthews, you want to come right up here. This is your bill. And it's House Bill number 31. And today is May the 2nd. I should know that. And the time is?
1:40.
Thank you, Jordan.
Another picture with Shamika?
Another picture. Shamika, get up here. Yeah, Jerry, Mary, come on over here. Get up here.
Now, where'd you get from?
Come on, get up here.
How's that?
Paparazzi. All good? All right.
Very
Good stuff.
exciting. Fantastic. Wow. Wow, that's totally awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for, you're the ones that make it happen, you know. You put
Yeah.
throw them pictures downstairs.
Yes,
Keep up work. I appreciate you.
thank you so much.
5 years of filing.
For passing that bill in.